Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Charottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Valdreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhakti Nashtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 14, the material world as a great forest of enjoyment. Text number 44 onwards. So Shukdev Goswami is further speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. Yom Shiti Sutasva Janarthadaram Prarthayam Shriyara Sadhyavalokam Nachin Nrispast Uchitam Mahatam Madhudvit Seva Anuraktam Man Sam Abhavo Api Falguhu. Shukdev Goswami continued, my dear king, the activities of Bharat Maharaj are wonderful. He gave up everything difficult for others to give up. He gave up his kingdom, his wife, and his family. His opulence was so great that even the demigod envied it. Yet he gave it up. It was quite befitting a great personality like him to be a great devotee. He could renounce everything because he was so attracted to beauty, opulence, reputation, knowledge, strength, and renunciation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Krishna is so attractive that one can give up all desirable things for his sake. Indeed, even liberation is considered insignificant for those whose minds are attracted to the loving service of the Lord. So that's how Krishna attracts everybody, with his beauty, opulence, reputation, knowledge, and renunciation. Either one, two, or all of these qualities. And look at Bharat Maharaj. Shukdev Goswami says his opulence was so great that demigods envied it. And imagine the opulence of anybody these days. Maybe, Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. They don't have that opulence that the demigods would envy it. But Bharat Maharaj had that opulence. And it was not based on some share market. He really had everything. But he just gave it up. And gave it up how? Like a person just passes a stool and leaves it. This verse confirms all attractiveness. Maharaj Bharat was so attracted to Krishna that he gave up all his material possessions. Generally, materialistic people are attracted by such possessions. Ato grihi kshetra sutapta vittera janasya moho ayam aham mameti. One becomes attracted to his body, home, property, children, relatives, and wealth. In this way, one increases life's illusions and thinks in terms of I and mine. The attraction for material things is certainly due to illusion. There is no value in attraction to material things, for the conditioned soul is diverted by them. One's life is successful if he is absorbed in the attraction of Krishna's strength, beauty, and pastimes, as described in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Mayavadis are attracted to merging into the existence of the Lord, but Krishna is more attractive than the desire to merge. The word abhava means not to take birth again in this material world. A devotee doesn't care whether he is going to be reborn or not. He is simply satisfied with the Lord's service in any condition. This is real mukti. So he doesn't care, devotee doesn't care the moksha or liberation, what Mayavadis talk about. He's just so attracted to Krishna's features, Krishna's opulences or qualities. He doesn't care, he just wants to serve him. One who acts to serve Krishna with his body, mind, and intelligence and words is a liberated person, even within this material world. A person who always desires to serve Krishna is interested in ways to convince people that there is a Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. That is his ambition. It doesn't matter whether he is in heaven or in hell. This is called Uttam Shlok Lalasa. So Uttam Shlok Lalasa, that word came in the previous shloka. Yeah. So he's so attracted, so much of greed is there to serve Krishna. He doesn't care whether he is in heaven or hell. And this story will come of Maharaj Chitraketu. Yeah. I think it's in 6th canto, I believe. We'll see. Yagyaya dharma pate vidhi napunaya yogaya sankhya shirase prakriti shirva ishvaraya Narayanaya Hare Nam iti udaram hasyan mrigatvam api yaha samuda jahara. Even though in the body of a deer, Maharaj Bharat did not forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, when he was giving up the body of a deer, he loudly uttered the following prayer. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is sacrifice personified. He gives the results of ritualistic activity. He is a protector of religious systems, the personification of mystic yoga, the source of all knowledge, the controller of the entire creation, and the supreme and the supersoul in every living entity. He is beautiful and attractive. I'm quitting this body, offering obeisances unto him and hoping that I may perpetually engage in his transcendental loving service. Uttering this, Maharaj Bharat left his body. So even as a deer, we read that even in the body of a deer, he would go to the ashram of the sages. But even in this body, so it certainly proves that soul is different from the body. And if the soul is evolved, even in the body of a deer, soul can utter the following beautiful prayers like this soul of Bharat Maharaj, even in the body of a deer, he uttered such beautiful prayers. Even we cannot utter this kind of prayer because our consciousness, our realization is not to that level. And he's saying, I'm quitting this body, offering obeisances unto him and hoping that I may perpetually engage in his transcendental loving service. We just hope that when we leave the body, we can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's all. The entire Vedas are meant for the understanding of karma, jnana, and yoga, fruitive activity, speculative knowledge, and mystic yoga. Whatever way of spiritual realization we accept, the ultimate goal is Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The living entities are eternally connected with him via devotional service, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Ante Narayana Smriti. The perfection of life is to remember Narayan at the time of death. Although Bharat Maharaj had to accept the body of a deer, he could remember Narayan at the time of death. Consequently, he took birth as a perfect devotee in a Brahmin family. This confirms the statement of Bhagavad Gita, Shuchinam Shimatam Gahe. One who falls from the path of self-realization takes birth in a family of Brahmins or wealthy aristocrats. Although Maharaj Bharat appeared in the royal family, he became neglectful and took birth as a deer. Because he was very cautious within this deer body, he took birth in a Brahmin family as Jad Bharat. During this lifetime, he remained perfectly Krishna conscious and preached the gospel of Krishna consciousness directly, beginning with these instructions to Maharaj Rahugana. In this regard, the word Yogaya is very significant. The purpose of Ashtanga Yoga, as is stated by Madhvacharya, is to link or connect with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The goal is not to display some material perfections. So Jad Bharat, because for him, he had achieved the pinnacle of yoga, bhakti yoga. So he was completely connected but somehow he got that body of deer. So even in the body of deer, he performed this yoga of being connected, connecting his consciousness with the Supreme. So result being, he took birth as Jad Bharat, and after Jad Bharat, he definitely went back, come back to Godhead. Text 46, translation. Devotees interested in hearing and chanting Shravanam Kirtanam regularly discuss the pure characteristics of Bharat Maharaj and praise his activities. If one submissively hears and chants about the all-auspicious Bharat Maharaj, one's lifespan and material opulences certainly increase. One can become very famous and easily attain promotion to the heavenly planets, or attain liberation by merging into the existence of the Lord. Whatever one desires can be attained simply by hearing, chanting, and glorifying the activities of Maharaj Bharat. In this way, one can fulfill all his material and spiritual desires. One does not have to ask anyone else for these things, for simply by studying the life of Maharaj Bharat, one can attain all desirable things. Wow, the Shruti Phal is amazing. I hope we were all sincere and faithfully, submissively hearing and talking about Maharaj Bharat's life. And this is where Shukdev Goswami is saying, whatever one desires can be attained simply by hearing, chanting, and glorifying the activities of Maharaj Bharat. He didn't say we have to ask anybody, just simply by hearing. That's all. In this way, one can fulfill all his material and spiritual desires. One does not have to ask anyone else for these things. Means we don't have to worship demigods. So simply studying Bharat Maharaj's life. So far, if we're going back, so many wonderful Shrutifals we heard of. And every time it is just getting better and better and better and better. This is the power of Srimad Bhagavatam. The forest of material existence is summarized in this 14th chapter. The word bhavatavi refers to the path of material existence. The merchant is a living entity who comes to the forest of material existence to try to make money for sense gratification. The six plunderers are the senses: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, touch, and mind. The bad leader is diverted intelligence. Intelligence is meant for Krishna consciousness, but due to material existence, we divert all our intelligence to achieve material facilities. Everything belongs to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But due to our perverted mind and senses, we plunder the property of the Lord and engage in satisfying our senses. The jackals and tigers in the forest are our family members, and the herbs and creepers are our material desires. The mountain cave is our happy home, and the mosquitoes and serpents are our enemies. The rats, bees, and vultures are different types of thieves who take away our possessions. And the Gandharva Pura is the phantasmagoria of the body and home. The will-o'-the-wisp is our attraction for gold and its color, and material residence and wealth are the ingredients for our material enjoyment. The whirlwind is our attraction for our wife, and the dust storm is our blinding passion experienced during sex. The demigods control the different directions, and the cricket is harsh words spoken by our enemy during our absence. The owl is a person who directly insults us, and the impious trees are impious men. The waterless river represents atheists who give us trouble in this world and the next. The meat-eating demons are the government officials, and the pricking thorns are the impediments of material life. The little taste experience in sex is our desire to enjoy another's wife, And the flies are the guardians of women, like the husband, father-in-law, mother-in-law, and so forth. The creeper itself is a woman in general. The lion is the wheel of time, and the herons, crows, and vultures are so-called demigods, pseudo-swamis, yogis, and incarnations. All of these are too insignificant to give one relief. The swans are the perfect Brahmins, and the monkeys are the extravagant Shudras engaged in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. The trees of monkeys are our households, and the elephant is ultimate death. Thus, all the constituents of material existence are described in this chapter. So described very nicely first by Shukdev Goswami and explained by Srila Prabhupada very nicely. So I think once more everybody can go and read this chapter again. And definitely it will bring lots of feeling of renunciation from the material world. And the Shrutifal is amazing anyway. So it's always beneficial to go back and read it. So thus ends the 14th chapter of 5th canto, and we'll start the 15th chapter. The glories of the descendants of King Priyavrat. Text 1. Shri Shukvacha. So again, the shloka is in prose form. We'll go to the translation. Srila Shukdev Goswami continued. The son of Maharaj Bharat, known as Sumati, followed the path of Rishabdev. But some unscriptural people imagined him to be Lord Buddha himself. Lord Buddha appeared in Kali Yuga. So how come this Buddha was long time back? Let's see what Prabhupada has to say. These people who were actually atheistic and of bad character took up the Vedic principles in an imaginary, infamous way to support their activities. Thus, these sinful people accepted Sumati as Lord Buddha Deva and propagated the theory that everyone should follow the principles of Sumati. In this way, they were carried away by mental concoction. Prabhupada says, those who are Aryans strictly follow the Vedic principles, but in this age of Kali, a community has sprung up known as Arya Samaj, which is ignorant of the import of the Vedas and the Parampara system. Their leaders decry all bona fide acharyas and they pose themselves as the real followers of the Vedic principles. These acharyas who do not follow the Vedic principles are presently known as the Arya Samaj or the Jains. So Jains and Arya Samaj, Prabhupada, he just combined two of them. Not only do they not follow the Vedic principles, but they have no relationship with Lord Buddha. Now that's a third party, Buddhists. Imitating the behavior of Sumati, they claim to be the descendants of Rishabdev. So the Rishabdev followers were the Jains. Previously we did that. But basically what Prabhupada is saying, they all fall in the same category. Those who are Vaishnavas carefully avoid their company because they are ignorant of the path of the Vedas. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Vedasya sarve aham eva vedya. The real purpose of the Vedas is to understand me. This is the injunction of all Vedic literatures. One who does not know the greatness of Lord Krishna cannot be accepted as an Arya. Lord Buddha, as an incarnation of Lord Krishna, adopted a particular means to propagate the philosophy of Bhagavad Dharma. He preached almost exclusively among atheists. Atheists do not want any God, and Lord Buddha therefore said that there is no God. But he adopted the means to instruct his followers for their benefit. Therefore, he preached in a duplicitous way, saying that there is no God. Nonetheless, he himself was an incarnation of God. So there are three different philosophies combined here. One is Arya Samajis. And Arya Samajis, they say they follow the Vedas and started by Dayananda Saraswati. And I believe it was yesterday or day before, or maybe today is his appearance day. But anyway, but the way Arya Samaj was started, in the beginning it was started, if I read it correctly and if I remember it correctly, that during British time, there was lots of confusion about the deity worship, and the temples were being desecrated or broken. So that's when he started this, that no need to go to temple, no need to do the deity worship. And then basically he started speaking against the deity worship. And he said, just sit at home and do the yagyas, do the havans. So basically they do havans. And it became popular only in North India, in Punjab, mostly in Punjab area. And they claim that they are the true follower of Vedas. But this is not true. Krishna himself says, by all the Vedas, I am to be known. Vedashcha sarver, aham eva vedya. But they don't believe in Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They say Krishna was just some great person or a great king. That's about it. Because they don't believe in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There's no Supreme Person. It's all Nirakar. And Jains, obviously, they say everything is Nirakar, but they still say they are the descendants of Lord Rishabdev. And Buddhists, for Buddhists, the ultimate is void. Everything comes from void and everything ends up in a void. Lord Buddha's appearance is an incarnation of Krishna, but his appearance was to stop the wholesale killing of animals in the name of sacrifice based on Vedic scriptures. So which people were committing wrongly. And so he said, okay, so don't follow the Vedas. If the Vedas say you can sacrifice the animals, don't follow the Vedas. Just follow me. So this is a proposal he preached in a duplicitous way. He cheated them. They don't follow Vedas, follow me. But he himself was an incarnation of God. But the philosophy he gave was not correct. But that was a need of the hour. And then Shankaracharya came and he said, no, don't follow Buddha, follow me. Follow that. Everybody is one. Vedas are not wrong, but this is the correct explanation of the Vedas, that we are all one with God. So Shankaracharya's philosophy is Buddhism covered Buddhism. That's what Prabhupada said, or the scriptures say. And then came all the Vaishnava Acharyas, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami, Nimbargacharya. And they established the Vaishnava teachings, Vaishnava principles on the basis of Vedic knowledge. Especially Ramanujacharya. He did amazing work, amazing work. And also Madhvacharya. These two were the real pillars. Hopefully one day Ashok Prabhu will take us to Udupi and we can discuss about Madhvacharya. And again, also South India, we have to go again to see place of Ramanujacharya. That trip was too fast. We could not discuss everything about Ramanujacharya, what he did. And then, after all these acharyas came Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to re-establish, to give us the ultimate philosophy of Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva and to give us Krishna Prema through what? Easy process of chanting of the holy names. The whole philosophy is given in this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Everything is given in this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. By mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the acharyas, we can get that understanding if we chant properly and serve properly. And after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then, of course, during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu time, 6 Goswamis came and they wrote the books, and further so many acharyas came, Narottam Das Thakur, Krishna Kavidas, Krishnadas Kaviraj, Baldev Vidyabhushan, and so many others. And then came our Srila Prabhupada to give us the essence of everything. 6 Goswamis, literatures of further acharyas, Baldev Vidyabhushan, and everybody, and the essence of the teachings of Ramanacharya, Madhvacharya, Nimbarkacharya, Vishnu Swami, in these purports that Prabhupada gave us. Very, very nicely and concisely, and written in very easy to understand language for us. But Prabhupada knew what's our standard is. So all these acharyas have come to give us this knowledge and to make sure that we understand this Vedic Vaishnava philosophy, which is a topmost philosophy. And we don't get distracted by either Buddhist philosophy, Jainism, Arya Samaji, or tons and tons of other so-called philosophies. So anyway, we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, maza aa gaya. Only request is if we can repeat the 6th chapter again. I think including the Shruti Phal, double benefit for everybody. So amazing, so amazing.
Yeah, no, Shruti Phal, by listening to Shruti Phal, we feel of reading it again. No?
That's correct. Yes, Prabhuji. One more week on this chapter itself. Amazing.
This is the power of Bhagavatam. Just by reading it, we don't have to do anything else. Just by reading.
Amazing. In fact, and very clearly, Sukadeva Goswami says, "Matlab, you don't have to ask anybody." It's so emphasizing. Such a point. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for kind of explaining to us your philosophy, everything.
Thank you. Okay, so I guess we can stop here. You all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Jai Shri